Hey everybody. I don't know what's going on. Let me take it. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube going live. It doesn't allow me to write the title. It completely bypasses the title that I should be putting in. So I just says Fernando live. But usually it gives me a choice to write a header. Right? So again, this is part of Mercury. Mercury rules cell phones, computers, electronics. So many of you may not even know that I'm doing videos on Mercury because it won't let me write the header. No, I got Mercury in the ascendant. These are the things that happen, which means that my Mercury is receiving some aspect in my chart because it's been like that for a minute. I can't even hold the phone on a holder. I have to hold it by hand. It's terrible. And it makes you work so much harder. So much harder. Okay. And I got my magical wand of Mercury. This is 100% real. It cost me a couple of hundred. Everything is here is real. And it's a magical weapon and also a magical bestowing of positive energy. But don't get it twisted, it can very easily become a sword. Yeah, I gotta satisfy that Aries moon, right? Well, guys, this is going to be a heavy duty one. So I suggest that you have a drink. A Bloody Mary with Jack Daniels. My archons prefer the dark rum. Me, I'm a white rum. White, but vodka. I'm a vodka person. I've never been a rum person. Oh, it's too demonic. But today it suits us when we're going to talk about Mercury in the third house. It really is delicious. And it's good for the lungs. It looks because it has lime, ginger, it has the whiskey, right? And Tabasco sauce. If I want, I can put some crushed garlic. You go to bed, it takes it all out. If you hear me cough, it's like I'm a two-packet smoker, but there's a lot of pollen here. I didn't experience that in New York. It gets it out. Virgos were very good at home remedies. Now that we're speaking of Mercury in the third house, let's shift before I go into today's topic, which is Mercury in the third house, witchcraft, and the power of words. All right? When you have Mercury in the third house, there is a special connection to nature. You may talk to trees or hug them. I have it in my ascendant, so I'm always talking to trees, hugging trees, letting them know how beautiful they are, how pleasant they are to the sight. Connect with the bushels, and other rocks, minerals, and other aspects of nature. Because nature is a living being. And of course, when we're talking about magic, we have to look at two factions. And these two factions are completely different than the factions that I mentioned at the reprieve in the introduction of the series. Very different. And when I talk about Mercury in Gemini and Mercury in Virgo, it will not be about this topic. It'll be of something completely different. So you can get an appreciation and a reverence for the complexity of this little guy in the astrological houses and also the signs of the zodiac. And these are two separate, distinct categories. Some of them overlap, others don't. Let's talk about Mercury vibrating under Gemini, a mutable air sign. It deals with language. The cuneiform tablets, the emerald tablets of Sumer, this falls under Gemini. The written language, first to appear, they say Sumeria, but it predates Sumer, believe me. And that can be the writing of sigils, seals, the lesser keys and the greater keys of Solomon. This is the aspect of Mercury in Gemini, right? It is the power of the spoken word. The fourth form of magic that existed on the earth was that of spell. Spell means to speak. The word has evolved over time to mean spelling, writing, which also falls under the Gemini aspect of Mercury. Right? So the original witchcraft that created and made things happen in the 3D was the power of speech. It says in the Bible, first there was the Word, and the Word became God. That's in Genesis. So that right there is confirmation that the first form of power expressed by the Creator was that of the Word. Through the Word, He created creation. Understanding how powerful that is, it does say in that same Bible, life and death is determined by the power of the tongue. Who can withstand such beast? That's in the Bible, Genesis. And there are hundreds of other examples in the Bible of how, with the power of your voice, you can move mountains. It is the ultimate form of power. The power of words. And that becomes your magical spell. Gotta take a drink with this one. You don't know me. I'm like, delicious. I'm earth. It has herbs and spices and, Virgos, we love that. Earth signs, we love that things that give pleasure to the lower nature of the ego. Which Mercury also rules. It rules the lower nature of the ego, which is located at the solar plexus, right? The inner sun. I'm going to do a video about the ego. I hate it when people go, oh, he's in his ego, he's in his ego. They never explain it, and they don't break it down. But I have to realize that these are very young readers. I'm the one that's going to have to do it. So I'm going to do it. So they have more of an appreciation and respect. Don't just throw the word ego around. It devalues its importance. And trust me, the ego is important, or it won't be here. Now, we have to talk about the aspect of Virgo, the magician. With Virgo, Mercury in the third house expresses itself through the parallel polarity, not opposite polarity, but parallel polarity of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. So here we are talking about earth magic, voodoo dolls, doing jars, you know, that's very Virgo, and it's dark, lower nature magic. And if the person is a magician, it will work, especially if the victim is of low vibration. Mercury, parallel the aspect of Virgo, an earth sign, in the third house, also rules kitchen magic. And you can do all kinds of spells just using the spices and stuff in the cupboard. Then, of course, you have the type of magic that is only available to witches, sorcerers, shamans, priests, and high priests. And these are the more sacred spells of magic that open doors to other beings that can be of high ranking in nature or low ranking. Usually we call this the conjuring. And Virgo aspect of Mercury in the third house rules the conjuring. It also rules incantation, which is very different from conjuring. This is high magic, and it definitely has to be done by a very experienced high priest. And he must command and control the demons that he conjures. These, for the lack of a better word, demonic archons, they exist in ranks. They will kill you if they don't see the mark on your forehead for them to be under the magician's control. The magician has to be very skilled. He has to be able to cast a circle, call the corners. A movie to watch that represents Virgo witchcraft is The Craft. It was a movie that came out in the 1980s. It was a teenage girl movie, but the principles of magic that they were talking about and doing was very real. I was in shock when I saw it. I said, oh my God, they're putting all the fucking mysteries out there. But because the public is not in awareness of this stuff, it was seen as fiction. But those of us who know better know what it was. It was a well-made movie, showing both the dark aspect of magic and the dark aspect of magic, and how it affects people who are unaware that these entities and energies and magicians exist, and that they have the power to manipulate nature. And that is the essence of witchcraft, the manipulation of nature. I gotta take another sip. Mercury rules initiation, being initiated into the mysteries, the sacred mysteries. Of all the planets in astrology, Mercury is the only planet that can go into Hades and come back out. Not even Saturn, our Lord and Demiurge, cannot enter Hades and come back out alive. But Mercury can. And when he comes up, he brings with him all these occult secrets and goodies that's only available to the initiate. It rules magic schools, the mystery schools, and so much more. So much more. Well, that was it. It was short and sweet. Please donate. Please give. 281-690-8825 or CashApp Fernando, FERNA number 5 NDO, or you can always call for a reading and a birth chart. Always look at the description boxes so you can see the prices. Guys, I hope this helps somebody.